Hey, good morning, everybody. Runger's in the house. I saw you. Donald, Rob, Merle, Craig, Larry, David, Tara, Gary, Terrence, Wade, and Andreas. Joseph, General Rush. Good to see you, sir. Ryan, Ed, Don, Rosalind, Sergio, Maurizio, Francois, Rex, Harry, Chris, Keith. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Hold on a second. There we go. And my phone thing was making sound. Anyway, how's it going? CPI came in, and we got a little popping in the market. Got a little popping. Now, interestingly, I don't know. I guess they knew the PPI was going to come in hot, so they put it out first, and then CPI came in not so hot. For this time anyway, came in light, that one came in line, month over month, core. CPI month over month came in light. CPI year over year came in line. Retail sales came in line. Empire State Manufacturing Index came in really weak. And this retail sales, now core came in line. And retail sales month over month, though, this is the one to watch out for right here. I don't know what why would you say core retail sales and then all retail sales? Like, isn't retail sales, like no matter what? But, this one, look at that. 0. Came in 0%. Came in flat. No growth. I mean, they love to bake the numbers, but coming in 0. I guess at least we didn't shrink, but it wasn't the growth anyway. So there we go. That's the numbers. That's what we got moving this morning. And that's why when we come over to, still on the red list, let's go back to the morning list. We come down to the futures. We're getting a pop. But yesterday, I said, very clearly, when we get a close above the 76, the direction is set for going higher. 54.40 on ES. Right there it is. The direction is set. We're probably going to rally right up in here. Can go pretty quick. We could be up there in a few days. NASDAQ, the direction is set. We closed above the 618. Probably going up to 19.2. Now, is that a sure bet? No, it's like 70%. It's like, it can still fail. There's still like, 20 to 30% of the time we could just drop out and not make it all the way up there. But the target zone is pretty much set at this point for ES and NQ. And Russell, on the other hand, also, it didn't get a daily close up there yet. Today is pushing higher. If we get up here, this one's probably going to do an extension, possibly up into this 20, well, pretty dang close to 2400. 22, I guess 2240, excuse me. Not 2400. 2400's up here. 2240. That might do a small extension, and then watch out for the reversal there. So we have the possibility to come up in here once again, and then we'll start the pattern all over again. So classic market roadmap bounce potential right there. The target being right up there. And I'm still super cautious. This can fail. And I would give odds higher to this one failing than the other two. So that's definitely a cautionary tale here. Now, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. Not a recommendation to be buying or selling anything, financial instrument or otherwise. Don't buy stuff from gurus like me. Don't buy stocks, options, bonds, futures, forex, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but don't stay wrong, all right? In the face of wrong information, like, hey, the market decided we're going higher, right? Higher is the direction for now. Don't stay short for right now until we prove it by arcing back down, all right? We've got the roadmap line below us, several smaller time frames. You see we're above the roadmap line on the 30-minute. We're above the roadmap line on the 30-minute. We're above the roadmap line on the 30-minute. All right. Things are saying we're going up for now. And the list was long with poppers this morning. So there you go. And S&P, looking at it, 5350. Probably where we're heading right there, 5350. All right. Simple as that. We're going to take the S5FI, probably right back up to the top. Maybe make a lower high yet again. Kind of have this odd trend line thing going here. We may come up, retest that right in there one more time. If we hold right there, and we might arc down. Finally, we came up shy of the bottom, arcing back up. We're only 60% of the way up there to the top. We hardly ever get to 100, but there you go. Then S5TW, stocks above the 200-day, shooting right back up to the top. We may make a higher high here. The trend line. Oh, the peach talking to me this morning. I don't know what the deal is. We may make a pop right up in here. Just above 80. S5TW, all the way up the top. This one's the one to watch. This may need a pullback, all right? We can hover up here. This is stocks above the 20-day, a little faster than the S5FI. A lot faster than the stocks above the 200-day. And watch out, all right? We don't tend to hang up here a long time. I mean, we can hang up here for a couple months, but we don't tend to hang up here a long time without getting some sort of lightning in the market. And you know, this was a rare period when you look back through here. We don't tend to hang up there very long in a period like this. This was one of the, you know, that's why it was one of the top bullish moves ever in the markets, from the low in October to that high we just made. And we might just make a new high here. So got a little flash in the market, and we can do it again. We can do it again. All right. What's popping? What's dropping? Let's go ahead and get into it all. Oil. Boy, talk about some volatility in oil. Look at that. Probably going to push lower at this point. If we get this closed down in here, probably coming right down here at 76. That would be my expectation. Right there. We'll push right down in there. Find the bottom, then probably reverse. It did the classic breakdown through the trend line, back test the trend line. Now we get the extension. How far do we go? Right there's the next support, right there at 76. Gold pushing higher, especially on the retail sales and CPI. That's what I wanted to see. Come on, breakout. Come on, breakout. Come on, snake eyes. Like, we need to get higher than that high right there on May 10th. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If we can get above that, probably coming up here to 2,500 on gold. Looks pretty spicy, my friends. Looks pretty spicy. Bitcoin actually doing something this morning. Look at this, pushing above this consolidation. We got to get above this high right here. This high from just a few days ago, right there on the 6th. That's the level right there. Got to get above it. Got to get above it. So I draw that line right across there. That's the level to get above 66,000. We get above that, it's game on. We could experience a big up. We'll probably test the downtrend line of the highs just above that. And then we can go on the breakout, 77, 84, possibly even bigger numbers like 79, 87. Maybe, just maybe, start cruising on up into the six figures for Bitcoin. That's definitely going to make Bitcoin into some spicy stuff. This, so far, happened right on schedule, right there. Making the low right in the window. We typically consolidate for 3-ish weeks after having. Get the right Bitcoin chart up, all-time history right here. Typically consolidate for 2 to 3 weeks after having. That put us right there at 12 days. That's essentially just right at 2 weeks. Still kind of consolidating here in 3 weeks, and now potentially going to break out and go. We did make a lower low than this low we made back here, pre-halving. This was the pre-halving consolidation right there. We made that low, lower than that, right there. Came up just shy of the roadmap line. I really would have preferred to see it touch, but it didn't touch on this data right here. So I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes we come up shy, especially when lots of people are anticipating the flush out and the go. Flush and go. So really, that's the level we got to watch right there, that high from just a couple days ago. We get above that, it's pretty much the odds are tipped in our favor. May the odds forever be in your favor for going higher. So Ethereum, not the same rosy picture here. We do have some potential for the SEC to classify this as a security instead of a commodity. And we have this spot ETF thing right here, which the market is pricing that into not getting approved at this point. And you may be like, well, JT, you know, what can we expect? Right? Everybody, what can we expect? And let me pull up the chart of, roll up a couple days. Oh, good grief. I've posted so many things in here. I post a lot of stuff to myself so I can pull up stuff like this. Right here, VanEck. That's the 23rd. ARC, 24th. Hashtags, 30th. Look down here. iShares, BlackRock, all the way out to August. Right there. Now, you can believe what you want to believe, right? I don't think they're going to approve these up here without getting BlackRock approved. So do they punt these until BlackRock is ready? Or do they just put everybody in there? That's the question, right? You know, I mean, BlackRock sucked in a huge amount of money into their Bitcoin ETF so far. When you look at it right here, look at the assets under management, they're at $17.3 billion right here. See that right there? AUM, that's assets under management. That means $17.3 billion with a B of Bitcoin has been bought right there. 17.3 billion. That's pretty smoking, right? I mean, just crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. So I don't think they're going to approve a spot Ethereum ETF without BlackRock. There's just too much money involved. Too much money. So either I think it'll be a lot like the Bitcoin deal where a big chunk of them all just go at the same time. I don't know that the 23rd is going to be when it happens, or the 24th, or the 30th. Could be out in June, could be out in August. So that's what we're cooking with right now. Kimberly is here. Good morning, my favorite subscriber, my bestest pal, my bestest friend in the whole world, Kimberly. Anyway, moving on. Dollar right back down to the roadmap line. I thought we might see that when we broke down. When we rejected going back higher right there, pretty much set the stage to come down to the roadmap line. Now, do we hold it or do we fold it and go lower? That's the question right here. That is the question right here. Can we hold it or do we drop right on down? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, market open. There's a trade on gold and MSTR closed out. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. All right. Speaking of MSTR, look at that popping on Bitcoin popping. There's another one. SWN closing out. So we have MSTR popping above the consolidation. Still coming up shy of hitting the roadmap line. There's OIH, new entry. MSTR. MNDY. Look at this. This is some craziness right here. Draw that in. If this closes here above the 618 today, that is an entry for rallying up to 260 right there. 250. Well, let's go 255. Let's say 255. Remember, these are kind of like zones right here. Now, for those of you that know, I've created a tool that kind of tells us the odds. And so far, this has only ever done this setup one time in the past, and it failed. So take it with a grain of salt. That's not a statistical population of prior trades. And so history on this one doesn't tell us anything. All right. We had one possible setup before where we bounced off the roadmap line and we failed right there. Could it fail again? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if we get the daily close, odds are we're going up here just based on the pattern across many other stocks. SMCI, this one's still not getting above the resistance on the upside. I would be very cautious being long. I mean, you could go long for a move up to the back up to the 1,000 area. I mean, this is a couple $100. This is a big mover and huge potential for upside and for big downside. All right, the support zone, long-term support zone. Good grief, man! Holy moly! I am getting some serious alerts kicking off today. I'm making trades while I'm talking. I have all these automated orders set to go, and they're all firing off like crazy. Anyway, NVIDIA potentially wants to. Well, we're probably going to extend out at this point. We've closed above that 618. We have set the odds. We're probably going to push on up. That extension could be as high as 1250, maybe even higher. Why do I say that? It all stems back from infinite market cap right here. We have to go refresher. It looks like it wants to sell me some peanuts. So Microsoft sitting here at $3.11 trillion. NVIDIA, $2.32 trillion. For NVIDIA to become the top dog right here, get up through Apple and Microsoft, it's going to take a share price upwards of $1,250, maybe $1,300. That'll push it up here. Now, what could that do to the markets? It could be pretty smoking. S&P 500 could be at 5,500 by the time we did that. But how crazy is that? Really crazy, all right? Crazy can get crazier. So this can rally right up in this, 1,250, 1,300, possibly 1,400. It can do it. We can go on that final extension. When it does, though, be careful. It's probably going to do a big, big correction for quite a while. And there goes the S&P. Trying to push higher. Hitting my alerts. We're going, baby. There we are. Breaking out. Going higher. 53.50. That's the target. And back to where I was. RH. Got a lot of stuff to cover. I should just keep hustling here. RH, consolidation sideways. That's not high probability anything at this point. I would be very, very cautious. I mean, look at that. We were just messing around down here. We dropped way down off that August 21 high. We started down way before the market even started down. Ended up down here in June. The market bottomed in October. And this one just started chopping here. And we made a lower low, looks like, here in October 23. This is not bullish. Not bullish. Not indicative that a bottom's been set. And I would be very cautious. We may get a final flush out that goes down deeper on RH. FNGU, leveraged. And I've been saying that this one had tipped the scales. We're probably going up to 380. Right up there. Spot. Nice potential pop up $6, but it's still right in the consolidation. This one looks likely to drop right back to the roadmap line, but at the same time, if we break out above this resistance right here, these prior highs, probably going to shoot right up to that high and maybe, just maybe, get the extension up to the 600 area right up here. Coin, really want to see this drop down to the roadmap line. We may not get it. May reverse right here, came up short. And resistance is sitting in this zone right here where we topped out back in. You see these highs right here. These 1, 2, popped up, rejected really hard. There's going to be some sellers come in if we get a rally up into that zone. The 280 up to about 350. And we could power right up to the top of it and retrace it and spend a couple months in there before we break out. So if we don't touch the roadmap line now, I need this to break above this zone at 350, 360 before we can be looking for the bigger targets up at 530, possibly 670 up there. ADBE has been looking pretty bearish, and despite being on the poppers list today, I think we're still set to drop a little bit further on Adobe. LABU is cruising for biotech. That would be super cautious to me. That's a 3-wave move up so far, but we can do an extension. certainly do an extension. 1, 2, 3. That could take it right up to 142 area. This is leveraged. It is biotech. It's two out of the 4 things that I don't like to trade. And I would be very, very cautious right there. Nail. That's a 3x on the home builders. We bounced right off the roadmap line almost perfectly. We get a daily close above this 130 area. We are set for 170 right up here. Right up there would be the target. NXT. Another beautiful potential bounce. Right there is the high. Right there is the low. We get a close above this 54 area, probably going up to 68. Dell. Looked like, oh, we're already hitting the target. And 152 above that. MMYT. And we need to clear the drawings. And that high, that low. 82, 89 above that. Ulta. That one a little deeper. A little deeper than I thought it was. We've actually tipped the odds that we're going to go down to 372. Excuse me, 327. Strike that, reverse it. 327 area, 330 area down here. We've tipped the odds that we're more likely to do that than we are to do that right now. But on the other hand, it can, if it gets back above that 430. Actually, I'm going to set an alert there. We get back above 430. Back above the roadmap line. That's the next resistance right above that. We've got a pile of resistance here. And then we got to get above that gap. So we've got 1, 2, 3 things right there. We've got this level. We've got this level. And we've got this level. We got to get above. That's a lot of resistance. Get above it. We could be shooting off to possibly 665, maybe 750, maybe even 870, 850. Let's go 850. That'd be pretty spicy. So watch that on Ulta right there. Holding the higher low. As long as we hold a higher low, game on. If we get the lower low, you can still go lower. FLUT. Ooh, get the close up here. It does have that gap down. Watch out for that. But we get the close up here. Odds are we're going up 240. Odds. It's only done two of these patterns before. Won both of them. So there you go. And morning, Nina. Morning, David, Alan, Roland, Diane, Mark, Alex, Kevin, Rob, Celia, Ivan, Diane, Eric. Good morning, everybody. If you want to chat with me like all the people saying, hey, hello, while I'm live, just got to be a subscriber. Click the button all the way over there on the other side, the green logo. Be a subscriber on the channel. Hit the bell with the notifications to get notified when I go live every morning. And there you go. So EMPH still bearish, still under this consolidation. If you want the roadmap line, link is in the description. Click the more button. You don't get my backtester thing right here. That's proprietary stuff I've been working on. It's not ready for public consumption yet. And I'm looking at building a scanner, if you will. I was calling out a watch list yesterday. It really is a scanner. It tells you when things have done a market roadmap bounce. You know, all those alerts that keep popping up. It tells you when things have done those. And when they're getting ready to go, like OIH right here, like how do you know when this one, I have it on a 30-minute time frame at this point. Like how do you know when it's a buy, right? How do you know? Well, that's what I'm building, a tool and a scanner that sets this thing up. And obviously after it got the buy, it got a big rejection. So that one's not the best example at the moment. But MSTR right here, look at that, the buy. And then boom, right up there to the target. Beautiful. But it did stop out on the last one. So now you may be wondering, like, JT, what are the odds on this one? Look, 62%, 64 trades. So 64 trades, definitely a statistical population. 62% of the time we go higher. I'll take those odds. And profit factor 1.5. So the winners tend to be much larger than the losers right there. Pretty cool stuff, right? I'm building a scanner that tells you when these things have fired off the entries. Like, that's what I'm working on right now in the background. So, all right, moving on. Moving on, moving on. CRWD, nice pop. Well, yesterday we closed above the 618 right there, so this is potentially game on. Well, I guess when we actually consider the real low, not the roadmap line. Today would be the close above, set it up for 380 area, 385 probably. Ideally, I want to see this drop, so if we get a close back down in here today, watch out for the drop to the roadmap line, but maybe that's just a 4-hour setup right there. See, we did the 4-hour bounce. This is like, it's a fractal pattern, so it does the same thing. These are just faster on the 4-hour. You see that we do lots more bounces on the 1 hour, and sometimes we don't respect it at all. We get to move deeper and lower. Sometimes we respect it very well. And 30-minute, the ones on the 30-minute across like several hundred tickers tend to last about 3 days. So why am I going with the 30-minute? Because it tends to last about 3 days. Then 15-minute, even faster. 5-minute, even faster. They're all fractal. So fractal just means it's the same pattern that makes up like the bigger. So you see the same pattern on the 1 minute, and those make up 5-minute patterns, and they make up 15-minute patterns, they make up 30-minute patterns, they make up 1 hour patterns, and they make up 4-hour patterns, they make up daily patterns, and they make up weekly patterns. So all these patterns, like that's what fractal means. It's all the same thing. Like the farther you zoom in, you see the same price action over and over and over. So it's kind of a cool pattern, and it's shown the power to win quite a lot. And why don't I just bring up those statistics real quick? Let me show you like the kind of power we're talking about here. Look at this right here. I'll make this bigger so you can see it better. So here's all these tickers. These are all 30-minute right here. I'm kind of calling it the market roadmap breakout, thing. And come on, roll over. There's 266 days in this set of data. That's about 1,560 trading days in that set of data. 8,977 trades across this whole spreadsheet right here to pull this data. All right, that's an average of 5.75 trades per day, per trading day. The average percent profitable, 77 right there. 77.5% of the time, this pattern, when it works out on these tickers that are in this list, it works out to the good. So why do I like this pattern so much? 77.5% of the time, across hundreds of tickers, it works out. And then the average bars right here, we can pull this over here. Oh, got that thing. We need to average 48.94 bars. That's 30-minute bars. So quick math. Taking a diversion real quick, even though I've got tons of tickers to talk about. So 48.9 divided by 13 a day. So 3.76 trading days is the average trade right there on the 30-minute time frame. That's a swing trade. I mean, that's a swing trade all day long. So that's what I love to do. Oops. Hitting buttons. FSLR. Potentially on the big pattern there. Kind of meeting some resistance right there. If we can get above, if we can get the next extension, this thing could go up to 270, and that probably take a little while. Probably cruise right on up here. May take it out to the end of the year, maybe even in the next year to get up there to the target. PALL, Palladium. I was talking about how Palladium last night just does not look great. Look at this. That is not, I mean, that's almost a dumpster fire chart. I mean, except for the fact it's at $1,000 an ounce or whatever. It just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. And PAL right there, pretty much echoing the Palladium chart. Palladium futures. Bulls. 3x leverage. This is leverage on market and probably going higher. Like if we can get the daily close up here above the 618. Golly, that peach keeps talking to me. 168 right there. Tesla. Bum, 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 bum. Showing some weakness today in the face of strength in the market. That's your tell right there. When Tesla's being weak and most everything else is being super strong, you got the S&P up, you got the NASDAQ up, you got the Russell up, yet Tesla is down. That's a warning sign that we may push a little lower. It's down to possibly 160 is where I'm thinking we may find support. And if we don't hold support at 160, we may push on down, make a lower low. I did take off my leverage longs last week, and I'm still holding 5 shares, and that's it. That's it. That's all the exposure I got. ANET popping up. Oh, hit the target already. That was it. There was the entry. There was the target right there. This thing works over and over and over. I'm telling you. Love this pattern. 8 times this has done it. 100% of the time it hit the target. ANET's pretty reliable. Pretty reliable. For shift payments. Is this one of those buy now, pay later things? I'm sure it is. Turn off the distraction there. This looks big picture corrective. I have to say that. Like that's looks like we may drop down to 20 here. Now, right, for the immediate picture, we have this kind of support. Trend lines are weak support, but we do have this support. We've got kind of this resistance cooking here. It's sort of a triangle-y thing as we head higher. We'll see what happens. We could kind of continue in this for a while until we break. So this could keep going for a couple years in this zone here. DPST. Dun, 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 dun. Potential. This is regional banks 3x bull. We have resistance right there at 88. If we can get above 88, possibly up to 120. DT. Dynatrace is broke out to the downside. This is like oil right here. Remember that oil chart we broke out, back test. That can lead to a move lower, support down here at 39. And if we get extensions, could be way down here at 20, in the 20s. PSI. Dun, 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 dun. There's a lot of semiconductor ETFs on here because we're ripping higher. 61 is the target. ADBL. Looks like we may continue down the toilet. Carvana consolidating right there, not pushing significantly higher. Not a big up, and we may get a retrace. It's been a few months since we've been down there visiting the roadmap line. It didn't correct with the rest of the market either. You look at that. We're sitting up here at the highs. We're not, we didn't touch the roadmap line here. Be careful. ALB, we have come up to resistance. Can we get through, or do we continue down? Been a long time since we've been up to that resistance at the roadmap line, all the way back here, July of 23, almost a year ago. We broke down, pushing lower. So watch out for that to hold. If we hold, and that was only kind of that 3-wave E move up off the lows, that can result in continuation lower right there. 99, possibly 91, possibly the head and shoulders target down here at 87 on the downside. IWM may push to that higher, but right now, look at that. Open green, but closing. Look, we back tested the trend line. Uptrend of the lows, just like oil. Back testing, rejecting. I told you I was still kind of bearish on IWM. Watch out for this. It can flush right down to the 130 to 150 area if we get a big down in the market. I'm still very, very cautious on IWM. So I'm suspect of the potential breakout there. BLBD, Bluebird, they make buses, right? Buses. 52. That seems like it'd be pretty resilient, that company. Even in the face of downturns, like there's a mandated lifespan on buses. Like you can't just keep driving them forever. So, and who's the biggest customer for busing? It's probably schools. So Bluebird makes school buses in the United States. Mandated upgrade cycles. So, I mean, it's kind of like a lock on guaranteed future business. VRT, Well, that one keeps pushing higher, and one of these days we're probably going to retrace. BitX, leverage Bitcoin, potentially trying to break above this line. We have the 618 up here, the breakout line at 48 to make the pattern, and 67, 77, and potentially much higher from there. We don't really have since this launched in June of 23, we don't have the history from this pulling back from high in 21 down to the low in 22. Makes it difficult to project the total target, but going off of Bitcoin's price, this one could 6 to 10x if Bitcoin 3 to 5x's from where we are now. So we could be talking like, prices, crazy prices, like 90. We could be talking 150. We could be talking 300. We could be talking 400. Crazy prices. So this is 2x Bitcoin. If you're looking at going out and buying Bitcoin, maybe consider just buying some of this right here. 2x your Bitcoin performance. Now, I say that, but miners, last time, miners were a big outperforming by thousands of percent compared to Bitcoin, where this is just going to do 2x, 200% out. So spread your exposure wisely, young Padawan. And DHI potentially bouncing. We get a close above that 156 area, 173. DDOG. Right there. Potential to break down. I'd be careful there. This is not showing strength today. Like the rest of the market, we may see this retrace deeper. SMH. Looks like that's going for the target up there, 240, 248, 245. Oh, there's another one, COF. See? Right there it is, right there. Boom. Look at that, 30-minute time frame. Look at that, beautiful. Entry, sat upside down, and then boom, right to the target. So kind of, let me know in the chat if this kind of, like this information would be handy for you to be able to take action on. I'm building it, but I'm kind of building it without knowing if that's actually something people want. So keep asking for feedback. I know my Termite Trading Lab people have access to the alerts. So, but I'm looking at bigger picture, like how can I help more people? Wayfair never has what I need. Looks like that one worked out. There's another bounce on the daily. Boom. So that was the smaller picture right there. That one played out. Bigger picture. We have the bigger move back here. Will this one play out? We're right at the entry. Target would be up here around 110. Dun, 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 dun. It's not, I'm just talking about the indicator. I'm talking about like the scan, the ones that like finding the entries out of the thousands of potential stocks. Like, how do you know which ones are ready? How do you know, right? Having a tool is great, but how do you know where to look? Like, that's the tool I'm building. How do you know where to look? PDD, set up to go. 155 is the target. ARKB. And if you want a different time frame than that, like the 3-day thing, I like 3 days. That seems like a reasonable time frame. But maybe you want it slower than that. That's just Bitcoin right there. That's Bitcoin spot. Duolingo. Look at that. Like I said on Tesla, something that's dropping in the face of the market popping. 160 right there. No, it's completely different technology than the VVD. And I'm not talking about an indicator at all. It wouldn't be an indicator. It'd be like a not really a watch list, but like a scanner that scans the market and tells you which ones have set up. I'm talking about a scanner, not an indicator. I'm talking about a scanner. Dun, dun, dun. SPXL probably going to 140. CELH probably going to 108, 110. Snow. It's just the market roadmap pattern, but it's an automated tool to find it. So Snow is bearish under the roadmap line. We could rally as high as this 195 and still probably go lower. I still expect this to go down at some point. We poked below, we kind of bounced off. If we get below that trend line again, odds are we're going down here to the 100 area on snow. May take a little while though. AMD barely showing positive. This is not strength right here. This is weakness, lower highs. I'm kind of thinking we're maybe in for a trip down to this 85 to 110 area down here on AMD. USD, if we get the close up here, it signals that we're going up to 125-ish. WHR, and to the target. Look at that. How's that for some weakness right there? Right to the target. Boom. Now, can we find supports, or do we, we did the initial kind of touch of the 1272. We did the retrace back up to the 100, and the classic move now would be to go on an extension down to this 85 area. Right there. It's not high probability, but that's classic price action, hunting for a bottom or hunting for the target. We see that on the upside too. BITU, that's just ultra Bitcoin. That's like BITX, but a lot less information, a lot less liquidity too, I think. Assets under management, 153 million, whereas BitX has 1.39 billion. So this one's 10 times bigger. Go where the liquidity is. GME making the biggest droppers list, and the party may be over this time. I was optimistic on the close above the 618, but not looking good right there. That's a rejection of the 618 level, especially if we close down here for a day or two. May result in a move to a lower low. So watch out for that. Go right back down here. Boot. I do have 12 shares of GME that I had for a long time, and I'm going to keep holding them until we potentially pop. So boot looks like we may rally right up there. Possibly up to 160. Possibly. DLO. Wow, look at that. Probably going lower low. Did not do any of the upside stuff. That low, that high. $7 on the downside right there. BTSI, right back to the roadmap line. Do we hold it? Then we can pop it 20. SBIT, that's another ultra short Bitcoin getting slammed. And that one's probably going to go in the toilet if Bitcoin goes on a run. We are broken down below these lows. Kind of fix it just a little bit. We actually poked out, retested, now pushing down, and this may flush. VSEC probably coming back down to the roadmap line. MTC. Ugh, low price garbage. Visa. Let's go look at Visa. Come on. Right there. Beautiful. Potential entry right there. All you do is just high to low. Fired off the entry. Target right there. 283. KOLD. Ultra short natural gas. Continues to be crap. And Reddit probably coming back down to the roadmap line on the 30. On the daily. Looks like we might reject this 618 level. Go on extension lower. Spot. Entry on spot. And that's the list. So how would you know what you go from the high down to the low? There's the close above the 618. Target 306. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right, bias for the day. The market's confirmed we're probably going up to the target. Target up here, 350 area, 340, 350, right up there. Let's go be conservative, 340. kind of where I expect us to go. We're higher high now on the S&P cash index. Rock and roll, baby. Let's go. Not yet higher high on ES. A little bit of divergence between the cash index and the futures. NASDAQ still got a ways to go. I don't like divergences in the market. That kind of indicates something's up. So be careful out there on that. Russell, I think, is still bearish, and we're rejecting back down below that 786. We may close back down in here today. So watch out. Do not have to go higher on Russell. We can even go lower on Russell while S&P and NASDAQ go make higher highs. Mind bender, but it can happen. All right. Different sectors in the market. Be careful out there. Have a great day. Stay safe. Count your save, maybe your own. I will be back with you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Make sure you're subscribed. And if I said anything that was beneficial, give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. And anything that was helpful, informative, beneficial, whatever it is that you may think. I mean, if you didn't like it all, give me a thumbs down. That's cool too. Just interact with the video. Share it with somebody you think might like it. And I'll see you later. I'll be in Discord. Links in the description if you want to come join me. It's like $5 right there. Market roadmap. That's the yellow line, the orange line. Market roadmap right there. Get it for $5 and